Very good. We can do standing or sitting qigong as you wish. It's nice sometimes just to have a chair behind you so you can sort of stand and then just sit back down and relax if you wish. It's quite an undertaking to stand for a full hour or hour and 10 minutes. But the idea is to slowly build up the resistance in our legs, to slowly build up our ability to stand steady. They call it static qigong, but actually it's not very static at all. It's a very gentle movement. And so you can allow your body to gently sway back and forwards if you're standing. Just soft, gentle movements. It's very difficult to be rigid, to be tense, if you're letting your body gently sway in this way. You have to remain soft. So we just gently flow backwards to the heel, gently flow forwards to the toe. Obviously in the standing posture or lying down, it's a little bit less important, this part of swaying, because you're already in a more relaxed posture. In the standing posture, when we gently move forwards and backwards, we're just relaxing the lower body. We have to soften our knees. Let the whole body soften and relax. And in practice, when we do this for an extended period of time, then the body will naturally do this. It'll gently move backwards and forwards. That's no problem. Static qigong doesn't have to be some sort of rigid, unmoving posture. There are always tiny micro adjustments to be made. Tiniest little moves. Sometimes you feel that your middle back is a bit sore. It's useful just to lift your chest up a little bit. Sometimes you find lower back is painful. It's useful just to remind yourself to tuck the tailbone slightly forward. Sometimes we become very rigid and we lock our knees back. It's always good to remind yourself just to release the knees. Sometimes we hold a lot of tension in our shoulders. This point on top of the shoulder, Jian Jing. Sometimes it's nice just to lift your shoulders up, roll them gently to the back, and then let your whole shoulder soften and relax down. Do that a couple of times. Gently roll the shoulder forwards, lift the shoulder up, roll the shoulder backwards, sink the shoulders down. And again, gently roll forward, gently lift up, move back, and then let the shoulders sink down. This point on the top of the shoulder is called Jian Jing. It's called the shoulder well, as if there's something deeper below. And there's this deep connection from the shoulders down into the middle dantian, and then down from this middle energy center down to the lower energy center. So we have this as the sort of surface of this idea, and then this pouring downwards into the core of the body. So if we have our shoulders up tight towards our ears, nothing is flowing. As soon as we relax our shoulders down, qi is flowing well. The arms, just put a little space underneath the armpit, so the arms are not clamped tightly against the body. We just relax the arms a little bit and open up a tiny bit of space there. A little gentle bend at the elbow, a little gentle bend at the wrist, a little gentle bend at the fingers. Nothing tense. When our arms hang down like this, sometimes it's referred to as the gunfighter stance, like a cowboy movie. With our knees gently soft, but the arms are gently activated, gently curved. Allow the tailbone to sit down. Tailbone pulls down to the earth. Top of the head stretches up into the blue sky. Whole body relaxes. It's important for us to find a stance that makes the body relax. Something comfortable. We want to find our way into a gentle, easy, comfortable posture that is sustainable. The main thing is that we don't want our bodies to become a problem for our mind. So we have to find our way into a comfortable posture that we can sustain for extended periods of time. And that really comes with training. And so to begin with, the standing posture can seem like a real chore, very difficult, tiresome. But it's the most powerful. It's an incredible gathering of energy that we can do in this posture. Just allow yourself to relax. Doesn't matter if your body sways back and forwards. Nice and easy, nice and relaxed. Knees soft. Tailbone gently tucked forward. Tailbone sits down and the spine extends long. If you're sitting, the instructions are slightly more, well, they're slightly different. Whereas in the standing posture, we tuck our tailbone forward, and the reciprocal movement is the sort of belly and lower back moving towards the back. In our sitting posture, the lower back, it's fine for it to curl inwards and the tummy to move forwards. There's slightly sort of different aspects to it. So in the sitting posture, don't worry about trying to get the spine too straight at the lower back, but the upper back is important for both postures. We just gently draw our chin softly back towards our spine. Be aware this doesn't mean tuck chin in, which is so often heard in Tai Chi. What happens is people say tuck chin in and everybody stares at the floor. So we actually think about draw chin back. We move chin back towards the spine. Just this chin jutting forward and then being drawn back to the spine is what we're looking for. As we sink into our knees, we have this idea that the tailbone is pulling down, Bai Hui is lifting up, and in theory, the center of upper dantian, the pineal gland, is lined up with the center middle dantian. Remember dabao underneath the arms from some of our exercise sets. This is the center of the body. Is lined up with the center of lower dantian, the belly. This perfect alignment through the body. Between the legs, Hoi Yin, we gently lift Hoi Yin up. There's a closing sensation. This idea that what we're doing is just closing this kind of capsule of our body. We draw Hoi Yin gently up. Just once, you don't have to think about it all the time. Just lift and imagine a bit of tension there, holding and closing this part of the body. We imagine this line that runs through the center of the body, all the way up to Bai Hui at the top of the head, and then lifting Bai Hui up to the blue sky, as if you were suspended like a puppet, hanging from this. In Tai Chi, they always say, from a golden thread that suspends you. Just imagine yourself suspended from the heavens. Knees gently bent, tailbone softening down, body relaxing. We find this relaxation in our body. We find this softening of the body. By softening, we start to relax ourselves into the chi field around us. First, we imagine our ability to connect through our feet into the earth below. That initially was Dr. Pang's idea when he created his poem called The 8 Phrases. But in 2013, he rewrote that poem and said, it's not about connecting into the earth below. It's going through the earth and out into the blue sky beyond. Out through the earth, into the blue sky, beyond that, out into the universe. Up through this central system of dantians, the top of the head, and out into the blue sky above, beyond, out into the universe. So it takes this softening and relaxing of the body to allow us to gently calm and open the mind. It's a step-by-step process. Feel the chi universe around you, and then allow your body to soften into the chi universe. Take up a stance which is most advantageous to this, allowing us to soften and settle into the chi field. As we do so, think about your skin. When we try and visualize our skin, sometimes it's quite difficult to imagine exactly where your skin ends as a physical barrier and where the rest of the world begins. This is exactly the idea we're hoping for. This idea that you start to feel the energy of your body is connected with the energy around you. You start to feel there is no separation between you and the outside world. You start to feel connected with everything around you. Connected with the earth below, connected with the blue sky, connected with the heavens, connected with the universe, connected above, blue sky, out into the universe, but connected all around you with nature. You may be in a built-up area. Doesn't matter. There's still nature to be connected with. Birds, occasional trees. Just allow yourself to dissolve into this idea. Just feel yourself no longer quite the solid version of you. Now we're releasing and relaxing. Now we're dissolving into chi. Past the skin barrier, out into the chi field. Out into nature. Dissolving out. Blue sky. Blue sky is Dr. Pang's idea. Everybody can think of a perfect, clear blue sky. A beautiful, still spring or summer day, perhaps winter even, whatever suits you. We think of this absolute blue clarity. This perfect example of clean, clear chi. Blue sky chi. When we soften and relax like this, we find we can no longer tell the outside from the inside. We've dissolved into the chi field, become one with the chi field. So now, the mind. The mind has a tendency to run off and do its own thing. The instruction in 𝐬𝐤 Qigong is draw mind back. So if you could imagine your mind out there, out in the universe. Now we gently draw it back, deep inside the center of our head. Then draw it down the center of our chest, down to the center of our bellies. We store our mind deep in the belly. It's what my teacher Lu calls the chi bedroom. The safe place in your house, the warm, comfortable, cozy place. We can draw our mind back into our chi bedroom. Store our mind deep inside. Occasionally the mind decides to go for a wander. Don't be cross, just accept. Gently draw back. So I suggest using one breath. Breathing in through your nose, we imagine the chi coming deep into the center of our brain, focusing in the center, our mind focusing in the center of the brain. And as we breathe out, we draw the mind down into the center of the chest, draw the mind down to the center of the belly. So whenever your mind strays, you just gently draw back and settle down. Allow the mind to come back home. The more we can leave the mind in this relaxed state, the more we can bring about healing in our body. So when we sleep, the mind more or less switches off. Although, of course, sometimes it's just making crazy dreams. Generally, the bulk of the time your mind switches off. And as soon as the mind switches off, the body can move into healing mode. So now we consciously switch our mind off. Might be difficult. Might be something we have to practice. We can always just breathe in and draw the mind back. Breathe out and settle the mind into the belly. And just hold it there. And if you have to do that every minute, that's fine. No problem. Sometimes the job is just about settling the mind, nothing else. We'll move on to some healing visualizations and ideas. But perhaps for some people, just getting the mind under control is the full job for today. Don't worry if that's the case. The task becomes easier and easier as we go. Gentle breath in, gentle breath out. Hold the mind deep in your belly. Good job. Maybe that's all you need from today. It's just to have this stable mind. If we can keep the mind stable, it settles quietly. The left logical processing side of our brain stops. Every one of those processes in the brain costs us energy. And so we use this moment of standing quiet just to stop the processing of the brain. And every moment that processing is silent is a moment the body can give to healing. Cells in your body only have two settings. One is work, the other is clean. During the day, our cells are working away for us. At nighttime, they trip over into cleaning mode. All of the things that have been created in our cells are byproducts, waste products, and they collect inside the cell. And then during the night, the cell cleans all of those things out. So that's why sleep is so important to us, to help us clean the system. And of course, the natural extension of this is that if a cell doesn't clean well enough for a long time, then eventually it can't function anymore. And so standing Qigong is a way of solving this as well. We quieten the mind. The body moves into healing. We're no longer spending energy. We're gathering it. So gather this Qi into your bank account. It's just like a bank account. The brain likes to spend all the energy that the body has dutifully gathered up for it. So we're not really supposed to be powering our brains up by doing this. We're supposed to just be gathering energy and not using our brains. So the energy balance in the body goes up. So every time you find your brain rushing away to do something, gently bring it back, settle it down, give it a little pat, wrap it up in a blanket, let it settle back down again. I often think about my brain a bit like a puppy, small dog, constantly wanting to run around and sniff things and experience things. But then sometimes you draw it back and put it into its basket and it falls asleep. Oh, lovely. A few hours of quiet before the puppy rushes off again. So you have to constantly encourage your puppy to be quiet, to be relaxed, to be calm, take some time off. Just imagine your mind gently in its little basket, in its bedroom, fast asleep, happy, relaxed, while your body starts to heal itself. You cannot stand in the way of that healing. That healing is automatic. You just have to give yourself enough time in this state, and the healing begins immediately. So bring mind back. Settle mind into lower dantian. We move from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic. And as soon as we do that, the body starts to heal, to cleaning the cells. All the detritus inside the cell getting cleaned out. The body's recycling systems starting to clear. Give yourself this time to clean the body. We can think about our mind as well. The state of the mind We wish it to be absolutely clear. A bit like a nice, clean mirror. So when you're in this mind state, sometimes the outside world comes knocking. You hear something, your family moving, you hear something happening in the house. Like a mirror, you're just gently reflecting those back. We're not taking anything on, not allowing anything to penetrate. So the process is very often thus. We hear a sound. We think, that must be my husband, daughter, wife, whatever it might be. Awakening, moving, doing something. Going to the kitchen to eat something. And then that triggers a thought. That person is always eating. And then that triggers a whole subsection of other thoughts. Never pay for it. They never do this, never go shopping, never do the washing up. And then that's another cascade of thoughts. What happens there is that one sound has penetrated inside and has started a cascade of thoughts. And those cascade of thoughts, they're kind of electromagnetic signals in your brain, have then created a cascade of emotions in your body. You start to feel the emotions that sound has created. So one sound creates a plethora of thoughts. Those thoughts create chemical reactions. Our body starts to experience anger, perhaps tension. You think, I'm standing here quietly relaxing, and that person's going to come into the room and ask me what I'm doing. Suddenly, our whole body tenses up, ready for a fight. And it's just one sound that's created that cascade of thoughts and emotions and feelings. Ultimately, the end result is feelings in the body. So that might be a very minor thing in your day. But let's think about how that works, perhaps in a more aggressive way. You hear the phone ring, you immediately come to the conclusion that it's your sister, mother, brother calling you, as they often do, to complain about this, to tell you about something terrible, to break some bad news to you. Your whole body becomes tense. Just the first ring of the phone, the shock of it, your kidneys sending adrenaline pumping through your body. Your heart starts to race faster. Your body, your muscles become tense, a frown on your face. The fact that you have to break out from your meditation to go and get the phone to find this bad news. Perhaps you pick up the phone and it's the wrong number. Too late. All of those things have rushed through your body. So now we wish to make our mind like a mirror. When those things come, they do not penetrate. They gently bounce off. There are other ways to look at it as well. Famous martial artist Bruce Lee always used to say, be like water. So water is an image that we use in Chinese culture all the time. For him, the idea was that when somebody tried to strike, he wasn't there. He'd already flowed away to somewhere else. For us, it's exactly the same idea. We think of a river full of stones, huge boulders, the water flowing down. We follow this beautiful river all the way down to the sea. Then we discover vast beaches covered in sand. And we realize that once upon a time, all of this sand, huge rocks sitting in the middle of the river, that the water gently washes the rocks away. So being like water is very powerful. This idea that you are flexible, movable, very difficult to hold or pin down. That you're like a mirror. When something comes to you, you reflect it away. You can be transparent. Another idea. So when we come to martial arts and Tai Chi and things like that, the idea is that when your opponent strikes to hit you, you move your body, they miss. It's as if they could go straight through you. They punch and you turn sideways and they miss completely. And then you just tap them and they fall over. Very non-aggressive way of dealing with things. But that's exactly how we make ourselves as well. When we dissolve ourselves into the chi state, there are many reasons for doing that. We dissolve the physicality of our body. And in so doing, we let go of blockages inside. We let the body open up and just become chi. No problem. We can release and relax. But also, we dissolve the body into the chi field. So there's no target left for our aggressors. When they strike, they miss you. It goes straight through you. You're transparent. They think that they can sting you or strike you or hit you, whatever it might be, with a comment, with a thought. But in reality, everything they say just goes straight through you. Who is it in your life who creates these problems? Who is it in your life that speaks with a poisoned tongue? I couldn't think of a better phrase. You get the idea. Become invisible to them. Become transparent. When they aim their arrows at you, just imagine they go straight through and don't touch, don't hurt, don't damage. Just pass straight through invisible you. Whole body turned into chi. Impossible for them to damage you anymore. You are a chi being, just pretending to be solid. So now, just remember, there is nothing that anybody can say. There is nothing that anybody can do that can hurt you unless you let it, unless you choose to be hurt by it. If you choose not to be hurt, then nothing can ever hurt you. Somebody may say something aggressive to you. You just say, yeah, okay, if that's what you think, that's fine. Not how I feel about it. It's very disarming. to your aggressors. Somebody says, I think this. And you say, yeah, well, that's your thought, isn't it? Not mine. Keep it to yourself. People find that very difficult to deal with when they want to put something upon you. And suddenly you're not available to be hit. You're no longer reacting the way you used to. So often those statements start with, I think you, or I think you should, or I think this about you. You say, okay, that's what you like to think. Help yourself. Your thought, not mine. I don't think that about myself. I don't think that way about myself anymore. It's been too damaging for me. You can say what you like. It's not what I think anymore. So whether you voice these things or whether you keep this attitude inside, we become invisible. The power that comes with that, we become invisible. Be like water. When we think about dissolving and becoming transparent, this also gives us the idea that we can dissolve blockages of qi in our body. Where's the qi blocked inside you today? Maybe it's not blocked at all. Perhaps you feel like your whole body is lovely and open, totally dissolved into qi. What does a blockage feel like or look like anyway? Blockages normally are about pain. So often you might find yourself standing for a little while and suddenly have a pain in your back, a pain in your neck, pain in your side. No problem. But just imagine that opens. Just imagine qi flowing well in that area. Opening space. So we don't really employ our mind very much in our standing qigong, in our healing qigong. Initially, we just want to let our mind settle and be quiet. But occasionally we can start to use our mind. If you feel stable, perhaps we can start to use our mind in a very specific way. We have this idea of the 5 organs inside the body: the heart and lungs, liver, spleen and pancreas kind of get rolled up into one thing. So the organs on the left-hand side that deal with digestion, liver on the right-hand side, about blood, around the back, kidneys, about cleaning the liquids in our body. Each of those organs has got a little sidekick. Lungs paired up with your large intestine, so the bulk of your intestine system. Heart paired up with the small intestine. Spleen and pancreas paired up with the stomach. Liver, the gallbladder. Kidneys, and the bladder. What is it you think might be useful for you to work with today? You feel maybe your heart is the place. In the past, some doctors told you something about your heart. Some doctors told you something about your digestive system. Perhaps anemia of some sort in your blood, you work with your liver, digestive, gallbladder, kidneys, regular kidney infections, maybe your bladder, whatever you want to work with. And it doesn't really matter whether you have a really genuine anatomical ability to imagine this organ as such. I mean, thinking about the large intestine, it's really quite difficult to visualize what it might look like, just sort of a pile of hosepipe all piled up on top of each other. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to have an exact idea like a Gray's Anatomy drawing of how your intestines look. We can just think about them in general, the area. So what is it you wish to work with? Perhaps it's wider than that. Perhaps it's an entire system. Perhaps you think that your nervous system is something that needs working with. I mean, how do you even go about visualizing that? Starting with your brain, imagining all these nerves running down your spine and branching out down your arms and down your legs. Just imagine this wonderful network of wires, if you like, carrying these signals all over your body, from your brain to all the major organs. In fact, from all the major organs to your brain is actually the better description. Perhaps you might think about your endocrine system. What even is that? These are the chemical messengers that flood around your body, making things happen. So the electronic impulses of the brain send all these triggers off into various different areas that fire off and send chemicals around your body. So in the head, you have the pituitary, pineal. In the throat, thyroid. We heard so much about thyroid and parathyroid. Chest is thymus, heading down to the ovaries, testes, the kidneys with their adrenal glands. This kind of chemical system inside the body. Perhaps you feel that hormonally you're imbalanced. And just thinking about how to even think about that entire system is really quite difficult, all these separate little bits of it. But you can start to think about some of them and just imagine the whole of your body with these little highlights, hot spots, your brain and your throat, your chest, lower back, sexual organs. You can just sort of imagine, picture of your body and imagine little lights switched on in these various different areas. Or imagine the cable network through your body for your nervous system. Perhaps what about your blood system? Quite clearly, your heart is the center of that, pumping the blood around. Your liver, this kind of filtration system. And then all around the body, these capillaries and arteries, stretching to the very tips of your fingers, tip of the nose, tip of your ears, top of the head, soles of your feet, the tips of your toes, everywhere. These wonderful channels conveying this beautiful blood around your body. So what's the system you're working with today? What's the organ you're working with today? Perhaps you're working with your entire digestive system. Perhaps you're working with your entire urinary system. Perhaps you're working with your lymph system, the whole cleaning system. Perhaps you're working with your sensory system, eyes, nose, mouth, throat, ears. We can just imagine light flowing in the body. You could imagine looking at your body in front of you and thinking about light highlighting various important areas of the body. So perhaps you've decided to work with your heart. Here's a little exercise sometimes we do. Just imagine that you can step back out of your body. So leave the meaty chunk of your body in front of you, and then just take one step backwards out of your body. So now your energy chi self moves out, and in front of you, you have your beautiful body just standing there. So you're kind of standing behind your body. And just think about your body in front of you. So now you can become your body's healer. Where does it need a bit of healing? Perhaps you might feel like putting your hands on top of your body's shoulders and just giving them a good squeeze and relax, massaging your own shoulders from behind. Perhaps you feel like brushing down and letting your body soften and relax. Imagine that you could put your hands inside your body and hold your body's heart, or perhaps hold your body's kidneys, perhaps the liver, perhaps hold the body's head, whatever it needs. Why don't you give it a bit of healing? So we can do a La Chi healing on our own body. La Chi is opening the hands up and dissolving all the problems. And then when we bring the hands back together again, all the problems are healed. Perhaps we're just working on something like an arm or a leg or a knee or both knees or, the spine. Working on something really very physical. Just imagine you've got a sore vertebra between, L3 and L4. You just take your hands around either side of it, and when you open up, everything dissolves. All of those blockages open. And when you bring your hands back together, we have a perfect healing brought back. So whatever part of your body are we dealing with, and of course, now on this basis, we can deal with as much of our body as we want. So you can deal with the entire body, just dissolve the hands, let everything in front of you dissolve. And then when you draw back, you can bring back healing into the whole of your body, or very specific parts. Open, gather, dissolve out into the chi field. Everything opens, everything dissolves. Now we draw back and gather chi deep inside the body. So you can make this as dramatic as you wish. It can just be a tiny movement of your hands, only a tiny movement, and the whole body dissolves into the chi field. And this tiny movement back can draw the chi deep inside, healing, bringing everything back. But you can also expand your hands in a really dramatic way. You can open out your hands, out into the blue sky. And then bring back this vast healing for your physical body in front of you and pour the chi into your body everywhere. Don't be afraid to experiment. Do whatever you like. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that we can bring incredible healing back into this beautiful body. So when we open our hands, all of those problems in the body dissolve. They're gone. When we bring back our hands, we bring a deep, incredible healing deep inside our body. Does your body want to sit down? That's fine. Does your body want to lie down? That's fine. You can still energetically imagine yourself standing above your body, standing behind your body, standing looking down at your body, whatever posture works. Because we're using our imagination, we can be or do anything we want. There are no rules in this particular healing. You can just see your body sitting in front of you or lying in front of you, whatever it wants to do. And whatever your energetic healer body wants to do, that can also be the case. So don't feel that you can ever do anything wrong in this exercise. This is just a positive visualization for your body. So we can get very minute with this. Imagine you could put your hands inside a very sore part of your body or a damaged part of your body. Imagine if you've had a bit of surgery, or if you've had a broken bone, or if a muscle is torn. Imagine you can put your hands and your fingers right inside that area. In fact, rub your hands and fingers together and just feel the energy start to build up on your hands. Then imagine you can put your hands deep inside that part of the body. Just gently open and expand, and gently close and heal. So you could go right inside a tumor, a blockage, a lump of some sort. Just open and expand it and let it dissolve. And then gently draw the hands back together again, and everything is perfect. Perhaps you've had something removed from your body. Sometimes our surgery can be a bit brutal, takes away things. Gently open the space where whatever it was used to be, and then bring back a brand new version of that, a healed, energetic, perfect version. So very often people have their appendix taken out. Very often people have their adenoids taken out, their tonsils taken out, things like that, which we're told in childhood have been a problem. But I always wonder about that. And I think the idea here is that we could always energetically rebuild anything in our body in perfect working order. So if you decide that you need to have your appendix back, bring back a perfect appendix in calm, relaxed state, everything always working well. It'll never be a problem again, but now your body can feel whole. Whatever it is that's been done can be returned, repaired. Whatever it is that needs working on, we can go deep in it. We can go into a cell inside our body. If we feel that there's something the DNA is not doing for us, just imagine a spiral of DNA. You can make it as big as you like. You can make it 2-3 meters long. You can imagine this vast area in front of you and see a beautiful DNA spiral kind of floating in front of you. Sometimes we see these kind of science diagrams, projections on screens on our TV of a kind of DNA floating. Just imagine you can see your DNA, a beautiful piece of DNA in front of you. Whatever was not working in your body. Sometimes they talk about genes that don't express themselves or do express themselves. Not a helpful terminology, but this idea that some people have a gene that doesn't work means they become fat, means they become, they have a certain proclivity towards a type of cancer, means all of these things. Sometimes this modern information can be really scary for us. I remember seeing a study by Dean Ornish, Dr. Dean Ornish. Basically, he asked a group of 100 people to spend 30 minutes a day just meditating quietly. 30 minutes a day, walking out in nature, and just to gently change their diet. It just became a bit more simple. Just moving back to eating things like, pieces of chicken with rice, salads, things like that. And out of his group of 100 people, they retested everybody after 1 month only. And they found that 300 genes had down-regulated, and a further 150 genes had upregulated. And all of these were seen as positive interventions. Just a tiny, tiny thing. 30 minutes a day for a month, meditating. 30 minutes a day for a month, walking. Just gently changing the diet, just to make it a bit more simple. And suddenly the whole genetic structure had changed. Things that we don't even believe are possible. Everything had shifted and changed with these simple interventions. So now, if somebody's told you a story about your genes, about your family have always had this problem, no, don't accept that. Change your genetic buildup, change your genetic makeup. Right here, right now, we see this beautiful spiral of DNA and we heal it. We send chi deep inside. Kai opens up this DNA spiral. Her sends chi pouring inside each strand of our DNA throughout the entirety of our body, healing at the deepest, deepest level. Just imagine that. You can change your DNA just in a moment. Anything can shift. So very often we're given this bad information by doctors. Oh, there's terrible problem, a genetic problem. No, no, don't accept that. Just because doctors don't know that it's possible to change your DNA in this way doesn't mean that that's the case. Doesn't mean that you cannot bring about this, I'm doing air quotes here, this miracle. Because to a doctor, it would seem like a miracle. For you, it's commonplace, easy. You shift and open and dissolve the DNA story. And then you pour back brand new information into your DNA at the deepest level. We reinform every cell in our body. We pour this healing chi deep inside, out into the chi field. Whole body opens, dissolves out into the universe. Feel the true vastness of who you are. Outside of our tiny body, we can become one with everything, the vastness of the universe. No longer trapped inside this tiny story. Now we are everything. We are at one with the whole universe. We bring this vast healing information back into our bodies, deep inside. Like opening a bottle of wine and then pouring it into a decanter. You open yourself out into the vastness of the universe, and then you draw the beauty of the universe and you pour it back inside your body, filling your body with this beautiful healing information. Yourself, a vast, vast being filling the entirety of the universe. deep inside this beautiful body. Deep inside this beautiful body. Sometimes when you feel the vastness of the universe, the idea of being returned back to this tiny body feel quite difficult. Sometimes we feel we would just like to stay out here in the universe and not have to go back to the troubles of this poor body. But there's another side to this story. When you are the vastness of the universe, you are expanded and open and extraordinary. But you can't really experience anything until you pour yourself back into this beautiful body, this beautiful vehicle, which allows you to experience life for all its good and for all its bad, for all of its beauty and for all of its horror. We go and pour ourselves back into this beautiful body of ours to experience life. When we study Taoism, we're told, stop judging. Buddhism has it as well. All suffering is judgment. You have these systems built inside you that have been given to you by your parents, by religion, by society, by politics, by friends and family. All of these systems that you've come to believe are true. But all of these ideas come with judgment. This is good, this is bad. This is how we do it. This is how they do it. Every time you allow yourself to make a judgment, you've limited yourself. All suffering is judgment. All judgment is based on the systems of who we believe we are. All suffering is judgment. All judgment is based on the story of you. If you can stop judging things as good and bad, then the pain stops inside your body. So many people eschew the news these days. They don't really want to know about everybody else's terrible problems. We know that there are many other beautiful beings out there struggling and suffering. But there's only one journey, and that is your journey. And when we understand that you are me, that I am you, that we are all this wonderful universal energy, just being brought to experience this world in these bodies. When you realize that we are fundamentally the same, when you realize that there is only one journey, and that is your journey. The other people's journeys, that's their journeys. That's their stories. All you can do is to be the best version of yourself. All you can do is to try to suspend your judgment as best you can. All you can do is try to make yourself happy and well. The best version of you changes everybody around you. So now we become this beautiful, transparent being. No longer reacts to the stories. No longer triggered into reacting. Just this vast, beautiful being. The best version of ourselves possible. This perfect version of you. We are one. You and I connected. We are made from the same stuff. But we have to have our own personal journey and make the best of it. So to begin with, we find it easier just to move ourselves away from people who constantly trigger ourselves, who constantly remind us about our old stories and our old settings. We try to limit the amount of intake of information that's likely to trigger us, to change the chemical balance inside our body. So we hold ourselves back from news, from people who abuse us, from things that are likely to upset us. And by doing this, we give ourselves a bit of space to heal. We give ourselves a bit of space to make things better. We do our Qigong to prepare ourselves. To prepare ourselves to balance ourselves. So that we understand that we are transparent. We understand that we need to keep our mind inside. We understand that we need to be stable. So our Qigong helps us to be in this Qi state, to look after our Qi body, to heal the Qi self. We create this space so that we operate in society much more easily, with much less trouble. We create this healing in our body so that we're not constantly struggling with reminders of the problems. So heal your mind and heal your body. So we still have our idea of our body in front of us. Let's just move our hands over our body. You can just imagine brushing the Qi down from your physical body, still standing behind it, just brushing the Qi from the head down the body, all the way to the toes. Just gathering Qi up and pouring Qi down for this beautiful body, filling this body with healing Qi. Just gathering and pouring a few more times, letting this cascade of Qi pour through the physical body. Lift Qi up, pour Qi down. And then it becomes time to re-inhabit our physical body. Step back into it. Imagine becoming one with your physical body again. Sometimes it feels like the energy body is so vast, we have to kind of tuck it inside. We have to squeeze it back into this body. But squeeze it back you can. You can rehabit your body, re-inhabit your body. Feel your fingertips, feel the tips of your toes, feel your legs and your spine, feel your shoulders and your arms, your head and your neck, and just feel your way back into the physicality. You can bring about gentle, brief movements in your body just to feel yourself coming back into this moment, back into this reality. But now you've walked back into this incredible body that's now filled with energy, filled with healing. You've changed the course of your life just by being here, just by doing this. You've shifted the way you react. You've shifted the way your body functions. Everything has started to change. So what about the past? We have to accept that that is energy that's gone, spent. It can have no hold on you now. You are just here in your body, in the present moment. Behind you is all of this story. But now we realize that every time the past triggers something, it creates this problem in our body. So let's just let the past go. Let the past be exactly that. Let it be the past, past and gone. Every moment you think about your past is a present moment that is wasted. Let your past go. Just see it like a book closed behind you. Finished. What about your future? You can't know. You can't possibly know what's coming. There is no way. All we can think about is what we would like it to be. So think about a beautiful moment, a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, whatever suits you. See yourself perfect. See your situation perfect. Go beyond that, 5 years beyond that. So what we do now is we think about the very future, 5 years hence. See how everything has changed in your life. See how everything is amazing. What this does, it allows you to think about this far, far moment, and everything in between doesn't seem so scary anymore. Everything in between has just happened, has fallen into place, has worked perfectly. Your short term, yeah, okay, good, fixed. Longer term, yeah, great, fixed. And as soon as we see this kind of longer term goal, just see yourself. You don't have to see where you are. You can just put yourself on a mountain looking happy, put yourself in a beautiful sunny garden looking happy. And then everything in the interim fills in. It just automatically moves to create this lovely image of you happy, well, healthy, 5, 10 years down the road. Okay. So it's just about saying 5, 10 years time, I'm going to be great. And then everything will just work towards that aim. We can't imagine how, we can't imagine what, but be open to things. Open your mind. Open your body. Be open. So here we are in the present moment. Let's just gather our hands onto our belly. We can hold our hands on lower dantian. Blood and qi flow well through your body. All of the functions of your body are healthy. You've done this incredibly superior healing on your physical body. Very nice to have a therapist work on you, but there is no therapist as perfect and as ideally matched for your body as you are. Become your own therapist every day. Gather qi and heal your body. See everything working well. And now in your physicality, let's start to draw some circles around the belly. We can draw 3 circles anti-clockwise. Just bring all the qi, forcing it deep into the core of your body where we store and hold. And then we send the energy back in the opposite direction. 3 circles the other way. Brings us back into the physical body. Just brings us back into this moment in time. Brings us back here. So as you stand here, just think about this energy behind your hands, deep in your belly, this vast storage of qi. Imagine this qi flowing up your spine and illuminating your brain. Imagine this chi flowing to your neck and your shoulders, pouring down your arms to your fingertips. Imagine the whole of your spine illuminated by chi. Imagine your chest, ribs illuminated by chi. The middle, lower part of your torso filled with chi. Down your spine to your tailbone, into your hips, your thighs filled with chi, your knees, your calves, your ankles filled with chi, down into your feet, to the tips of your toes, the soles of your feet, the whole back surface of your body, the top of your head, tips of your ears, tip of your nose, tip of your fingers, every part of your body filled with chi. Blood and chi flow well through your body, an abundance of energy deep inside. All functions of your body are healthy. All functions of your body healthy. All functions healthy. In a moment, everything shifts and changes. All functions are healthy. Think about your 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐟, this energy field around your body. It's 2 or 3 centimeters around your skin, this strong field of chi. It protects you. And then we have the chi body, meter in front, meter behind, left, right, up, down. This bubble of chi around you protects you, but also connects you to the outside world. See yourself as a being of light, every cell in your body working well, standing inside your fields of energy, happy, healthy, safe, a big smile on your face. Slowly open your eyes. Bring yourself back into this physicality. Just start to move your hands a little bit. Perhaps we can just roll the shoulders, stretch the legs. Perhaps you want to do a bend. If you're bending, just do it really slowly and really carefully. Take your time. And when you come up really slowly and really carefully, it can be very dizzy. Just take your time, take it easy. Whole body opens, relaxes, stretches, moves gently. And then we can say 𝐬𝐿a together. So don't unmute yourself, because if you unmute yourself, you're instantly going to appear on the YouTube video. So if I'll know that you're saying 𝐬𝐿a, that's fine. So 𝐬𝐿a means good already. All of this work we've done, it's like a stamp. The Chinese call them a chop. It's our signature saying, this is it. Everything is sorted. Everything is done. So we can put our hands up in the air. 1, 2. 𝐬𝐿a. 1, 2. 𝐬𝐿a. 1, 2. 𝐬𝐿a. So as always, I'll put this, we haven't even saluted. Sorry, I'm 𝐸𝐸 qigong. We have a little salute for each other. You can bring the feet together. You raise one right hand up, left hand down, pull the hands together. This is the 𝐸𝐸 qigong salute. I'm going to put this up on YouTube, as I always do. I'd love you to spread it round for me, to be my publicity people. Send it to your friends and your family, anybody who'd like to do a meditation with me, more than welcome. It'll be on my YouTube channel. And thank you very much for being here today. It's been really lovely to be with you. Sending you lots of love and light. And tomorrow we've got the body mind class if you want to come and join with that. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.